everybody. Welcome to Smashing Game Time. I am your host, Nick. I am joined by Josh. Josh, tell the people hello.
My foot.
His
My
foot is...
foot hurts.
He got... It's past the holidays, and all he got was a foot injury. Hey,
Yeah.
we just got done with the Goaty stuff. We are all tuckered out from Game of the Year, so we're not ready for a proper episode quite yet. So we thought it'd be a great time to sit down and pick out our top 10 Rick and Morty episodes. The new season just finished. I think season 7's one of the better seasons in a long while, though I'm not one of those people that's been complaining about season 5 or 6. I do think 7 came off very much as a season 3 or 4 to me. Just
It was perfect.
I loved it. There was like one episode I was like, I could take or leave.
But that's always like that. There's always at least one episode in a season where you're just like, it's a hit or miss.
I don't know if this is for me. Before we do all that, as always, you can find us wherever you get your podcasts. We're on Apple, we're on Spotify, we're on YouTube Podcasts. We're also on regular-ass YouTube. Go look for us over there where you can see our beautiful faces. Hey, fuck the algorithm, tell a friend. That's right, word of mouth is king here. We do not fuck with those algorithms, and they don't fuck with us. A new thing here, a new bit. We've got a website. It's very new. We're working on getting stuff up on it. Go check it out. It's smashinggametime.com. All one word, smashinggametime.com. Go check it out. We're going to have some personal top 10 lists there for 2023. I'm working on getting some guest lists over there from some of the faces you've seen on this show in the past year. So keep an eye on it over there. We're all learning how to type. We're from the Midwest, so we're very illiterate over here. Some of you have more fancier words than us that haven't quite gotten out here yet. We're waiting for them to ship in. It's like waiting for a hot song on the radio. Before we get into the list, Josh, how was your Christmas?
Other than the foot injury, it was actually quite nice.
For having two kids, this was probably one of the more peaceful Christmases because we had my in-laws come to us. We went over to you and my mom for like a few hours earlier on, what was that, Christmas Eve?
Christmas Eve, yeah.
So I spent the whole day at home on Christmas, and it was quite nice. And if you listened to Game of the Year all the way through, you would remember Josh was surprising me with a Steam Deck, and I would like to report that I've already smashed it into pieces.
It made me regret my decision instantly.
So Merry Christmas to me. Also, hey, so next week we're back with a guest, so stay tuned for that. But hey, Josh, what do you say we get into this Rick and Morty, this Rick and Morty list?
Yeah, let's start from the beginning, 2013.
All right, well, hold on. I'm still on my House Doom documentaries. I got into that. Okay, yeah. So this is gonna be a more looser podcast because again, our brains are still recovering. So we're gonna go through each season. We're gonna pick out the ones that stand out. Josh is gonna add them to a list, and then once we've gone through all 7 seasons, we are going to whittle it down to our top 10 and get them into some kind of order. Should be lickety quick as long as this cat gets off of my desk. Ernie, get out of here. All right, so we're on season 1. I can't believe Rick and Morty premiered 10 years ago. I'm feeling old. My goodness.
Oh yeah.
So looking at this list, let's run down. So we've got the pilot. We've got episode 2, Lawnmower Dog, Anatomy Park, episode 3. Episode 4 is M. Night Shyamalan Aliens. Episode 5 is Me Seeks and Destroy. Episode 6 is Rick Potion number 9. Episode 7 is Raising Gazorpazorp. Episode 8 is Rick's D-Minix. That's the, I believe that's the first interdimensional cable episode. Episode 9 is Something Ricked This Way Comes. 10 is Close Rick Counters of the Rick Kind. That's the first appearance of Evil Morty. And then Risky Business. I believe that's the first appearance of Birdman, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe it is, yeah.
That's the big party episode where they freeze time. And Slow Morbius is in that one, too. So, I mean, looking at season 1, there are 2 that I really like on this list. And that's the M. Night Shyamalan Aliens and Me Seeks and Destroy. So let's get those down.
Yep, I'm doing that right now.
It's crazy because I remember watching a boatload of season 1 and season 2 for the longest time. Because as Rick and Morty fans, that's all we had. That's all we had were those first 2 seasons.
For a hot minute.
And the further away from season 1 we get, the less I like it. And of course, that's normal. Season 1 is the show finding its footing. But I think this show really finds its footing like right away with Lawnmower Dog. Like it finds it really quick. It's just I think that just shows you how good of a show it is. That like I look back at an early season and be like, it's fine. Do you have any from season 1 that stand out that you want on the list for right now?
I mean, I definitely want to throw up Rick Minutes. Interdimensional Cable is just, I mean, that
And
was like the peak of their writing.
and so this is the one where in the background you have Jerry and Beth fighting over all the different versions of themselves. This is the first time you really get into like all the different dimensions and the things going on between the different Jerrys, the different Beths, the different Ricks. I mean, looking back at this, so yeah, you have that happen, and then potion number 9 gets into it too because they Rick and Morty go to a new multiverse
Dimension where wherever they are called themselves, they accidentally turn themselves into humans.
Not the Gazor, the Schronenberg.
Yeah, the Schronenberg
Schronenberg
world
Rick and
turns
Morty.
themselves all normals, and the Schronenberg Rick and Morty have to leave to the world that Rick and Morty just destroyed and turned into it.
That song at the Winter Ball though that they're singing about Morty
I
is still
love Morty,
and I
I
hope
hope he
Morty loves me.
loves me.
I want to.
I want him to be
wrap his arms around me and put
Yeah.
himself inside me. And then just watching everyone like try to tear each other apart over Morty is just great. Looking at the rest of these, sorry, go
I
ahead.
mean, and I was gonna say the other one that I like. It's not gonna be on the list, but it's like if I could go back and just watch it because it just cracks me up every time. Is the something Ricked, This Way Comes, just because it's Rick just being an asshole to the devil. The devil trying to kill himself just cracks me up every time. I don't know why.
I do think that episode has one of my favorite Rick and Summer moments, and it's
Where they get drugged down to their like super beef and it's DMX. They go beat the shit out of the devil, but then after that, you see him just go around everywhere and just beating the shit out of douchebags the whole time.
the episode's tag. It's amazing just because it's the same animated thing over and over again, but it's just them beating up a different person, and then they both spit on every person after they beat their ass. I know people like Close Rick counters with the Rick kind. I like Evil Morty, but I'm not like, I don't know. I like the big narrative that they're telling, but like it's not make or break for me. Like some of my favorite episodes from this recent season had nothing to do with the big story they've been telling. Anything else on season 1 before we move on to 2?
No, we jump 2 years ahead into season 2.
Oh wow. Okay,
Yeah,
so yeah,
2015.
season 1 ended April 2014. Season 2 premiered July 2015. So let's run down this episode list real quick. There's a Wrinkle in Time, and I will say, it's so hard to remember some of these episodes based off the names.
No, yeah,
It's awful. There's a few where it's like I know
the pictures are helping.
Yeah. Okay, so there's episode 1, A Wrinkle in Time. Episode 2, A Morty Night Run. Episode 3, Autoerotic Assimilation. Episode 4, Total Rick Call. Episode 5, Get Swifty. Episode 6, The Ricks Must Be Crazy. Episode 7, Big Trouble in Little Sanchez. Episode 8, Interdimensional Cable 2, Tempting Fate. Episode 9, Look Who's Purging Now. And episode 10, The Wedding Squanchers. This is a lot harder because
This is a good season.
this is a really good season of Rick and Morty. If I was only picking 2, I think I would do Total Rick Call
Yes.
and then Morty Night Run, just because the Moon Man song. You're gonna learn that the songs really sell Rick and Morty for me. And then also I would do A Wrinkle in Time just because they don't really mess with time a lot. So this was their first foray into it, and they do more time stuff, but you really see them try to want to stay away from the time stuff.
Well, the Rick's whole thing is like, we don't do time travel. That shit's bullshit.
The time traveling testicle cops are great. Like, you're gonna mess with time,
Yes.
you're gonna mess with time, and they go and beat people's ass. I think it's the same. I think it's the same animation they use for Muscle Rick and Summer. It leads to another one of my favorite tags in Rick and Morty, where they're flipping through time looking for Rick, and they find Einstein and beat his ass.
He's like,
I will
time
mess
is
with time.
relevant.
I will mess with time, and he starts writing E=mc². Yeah, those would be. Do you have anything on season 2 that you're like, I need this?
I mean, I think so. I do like the interdimensional cable too, but I think the first one obviously was just a selling point. The second one was just more like a, hey, like they knew that this was like, hey, people are going to keep asking for more, but let's make fun of it. And like from there, really, that's all they do. Every time they bring up interdimensional cable, like the season 7, like they do the I can't remember what's going on, but like Rick passed out drinking, watching Cake or Real. Or Cake or Fake, or the equivalent of that. And he goes, those living beings, man, you can never tell.
I do love the fact that like they haven't done an interdimensional cable 3, but we still get going
glimpses of it. Yeah.
It's constantly in the background. One more I would add from season 2 for right now would be Look Who's Purging Now.
Yes, that's a good one too.
It's one of those episodes. Again, there's I forget the girl's name that Rick teams up with, but they're killing the rich and they're killing the famous and rich, and they're dancing to that Tony Tone Tone song, and it's just so good, and it feels good. It feels good.
I also like when Morty's stuck listening to the old Lighthouse Guy's story. He falls asleep to it.
As a writer, that part is stuck with me. It's stuck with me. It's like I don't want to be that guy who gets killed in the lighthouse by Morty. This for lore reasons. I don't know if this is lore, but this is the first time we see Morty like kind of lose his cool.
Yep.
And looking back, because the show doesn't really hold your hand with is this our Rick and Morty the entire time? Because we don't really fucking know. Looking back, I could see this being evil Morty in this episode. I could see them following evil, because in the new season we got the evil Morty like origin story of like they came back and one day he just had enough and shot Rick. And
well, he made sure he was drunk and then shot him.
Yeah, and took control of him. And looking back, I could see this being evil Morty.
Yeah, I could see all the moments we see Morty losing it for sure could be him. But at the same time, like you said, they do a really great job. Like it's never, unless you hear them saying, what is it, 1-1, not 117, like whatever they're.
Are they 1-3? No, that's Marvel's bullshit. I forget exactly what universe they are. Are they 167? I don't know. People
something like that. But
the harder core Rick and Morty fans are yelling at us.
But yeah, I can agree though that it's like when they don't mention that, it's good to assume that we're not following our Rick and Morty. We may be following a different dimension,
and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it leaves the mystery up there because it's like, okay, well they can honestly rehash it, but it could be completely different.
All right, anything else from season 2?
No,
feels like we got a pretty good list.
We're gonna do another time skip 2 years later.
Oh, this one felt like the longest. This was the longest. This one felt
well, yeah, because this was like truly 2 years last. So see, between season 1 and season 2 is more like just kind of like a year, a little more. But this was actually 2 years.
Was I living? I think I was living in North Carolina when they did so the season 1 episode was an April Fool's joke they put out in the middle of nowhere, and then the rest of the season came out at the end of summer. So season 3. The episodes are episode 1, the Rick Shank Redemption, which is a great fucking episode. Episode 2, Rick Mancing the Stone. Number 3, Pickle Rick.
Pickle Rick.
Episode 4, Vindicators 3, The Return of World Ender. Episode 5, The Whirly Durly Conspiracy. Episode 6, Rest and Rick Laxation. Episode 7, The Rick Lantis Mix-Up. Episode 8, Morty's Mindbenders, or Blowers. Episode 9, The ABCs of Beth. And episode 10, the Rick Churian Morty date. So now looking at this season, I think this is a very front-heavy, more front-heavy season than it is back-heavy. Because
it was the big return.
The Rick Churian Morty date, meh. ABCs of Beth I like, but I wouldn't put it in my personal top 10. Morty's Mind Blowers is just a stand-in for interdimensional cable.
Yeah, which is still good.
What's your favorite episode of season 3, Josh?
Pickle Rick.
Oh, of course it is. Fucking Pickle Rick,
who
motherfucker.
I mean, it's everything. It's everything we expect from Rick Sanchez.
You're adding these to the list still, right?
Yeah, I'm still typing him in.
Okay.
And then if you told me Pickle Rick wasn't a good choice, honestly, it'd be between the Vindicators and Rick Shank Redemption.
Pickle Rick's a good choice. I'll go with like my number 1 from this season is Rick Shank Redemption. It's just a great premiere. There's so much that happens in it. They clean up the cliffhanger from season 2 pretty quick. I think it's I might have already said this, but I think it's the best premiere of the whole series. Let's see. Vindicators. So if I was only picking two, it'd be the Rick Shank Redemption and then the Whirly Durly conspiracy, just because I really love Rick and Jerry episodes. And I think this was our first one.
Yeah, this is yeah, because Rick's like, we're gonna go on an adventure together. We're gonna spend time together, and he takes him to a place where you basically can just kill everybody and it won't affect
So
won't affect you at all.
and the trailer for this season, like the way they promoted it was like, this is our darkest season yet, and this is like a moment where this is the darkest fucking season.
So I mean, just watching the kids kill each other, or the
brother and sister are chasing
down.
each other with a gun. He shoots his sister, she comes back alive. The portal goes down, he shoots her, she's fucking dead.
She stays dead.
And I'm not nominating it, but Rest in Relaxation has something similar. Toxic Rick makes the world toxic, and all these kids start eating this birthday mascot, but they're also like starting to kill each other. So we can't not put the Rick Lantis mix up on there. I think it's probably one of the best episodes of the show. You know this one, right?
That's the one where Evil Morty wins, right?
I was gonna say it's where they get the mermaid puss.
I remember that. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that mermaid puss.
But this is the one where it shows they do the Council of Ricks ends up losing to a Morty. Morty becomes president of the.
Yeah. So this is the one. It's it follows like all these different Rick and Mortys. So there's I think it's Stand by Me parody in there. There's a Training Day parody. I forget what the Factory one is a parody of, but there's the Simple Rick. They make the wafers off of Simple Rick.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Oh, is that this one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then
happens.
season 4 has the episode where it follows the cop Rick and Morty.
No, this is
that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh geez, Rick, I just want to go back and masturbate and look at girls, and then he shoots him.
Yeah.
Boom, boom. Just Morty's killing Morty's. Probably one of my favorite lines.
It's so fucking good. Like you know the writers have fun with this shit.
When Cop Morty's interrogating the Morty at that spray painting the wall, he's like, "Oh geez, me and my partner here, we're just trying to find out what happened." Like, "Oh geez, that sucks." He's like, "Yeah, oh geez." He's like, "You should listen to your Rick." "Oh geez, he's not my Rick." And then he pulls his gun. He's like, you want me to show you how I paint a fucking wall? Just a great episode.
It's what we need. Literally, that was like, other than the first half of the season, that's like the funniest shit the season had done. And then after, just kind of, like I said, the Morty's mind blower is just a fuck you to the people who kept demanding interdimensional cable.
Well, and you know what? After this season, I really like what these showrunners do, or what the room as a whole does, is they don't save their load for the finale anymore. They blow their they get their big episode, like they get the one that people are clamoring for, and they put it in the middle, and then you kind of have a winding down. Like not everything's gonna hit on the way down. We're gonna hit some turbulence, but you're gonna like the ride down too. Anything else from season 3?
Nope. Another time skip 2 years later.
Oh God, it was another 2-year wait.
Yeah, and then after this is where they promised that it wouldn't take as long to get seasons out.
Yes, so between seasons 2 and 3, they were like trying to hammer out a deal, and they were working on 3 while they were hammering out the deal. They finally hammered out the deal. We're still finishing up 3 and hadn't even started 4, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah.
All right.
Because they weren't sure, so that's why they did. Yeah. Good. Yep. Sorry, continue.
No, you're good. And so we haven't had that big a wait since, except for COVID kind of fucked shit up. But here we go. Season 4, episode 1, Edge of Tomorty, Rick Die, Rick Pete. Episode 2, The Old Man in the Seat. Episode 3, One Crew Over the Crew's Nest. Episode 4, Claw and Hoarder, Special Victims Morty. Episode 5, Rattlestar Rick Lactica. Episode 6, Never Ricking Morty. Episode 7, Primordius. Episode 8, The Vat of Acid episode. Episode 9, Childrick of Mort. Episode 10, Startmort, Return of Jerry. Return of the Jerry.
I mean, we have to throw in The Vat of Acid. That is like by far.
The vat of
That,
vat of acid episode is great. The little remote that he gives Morty to reset himself, and the little montage that they get into. But then they get into a montage within a montage of him
yeah.
falling in love and never hitting the button, and that all coming to a terrible end. Looking at the rest of this, though, I was not a big fan of Primordius. That's the one with, I believe that is the face guys. They all have the face aliens on them.
Oh yeah.
The timeline on that one's just weird. Never Wrecking Your Morty. The Circle Train episode, which is what's his name?
Storyteller.
What's his name? Why am I forgetting? I can just scroll up and see his name probably.
Oh, he's ripped. God damn.
God damn. No, Dan Harmon. Dan Harmon's Story Circle. I don't know. This one's always just seemed kind of a little bit masturbatory to me about their Story Circle. That being said, it was their first episode. That was because they had like a 6-month delay after, because I think they did their first set of episodes and then COVID hit and they were delayed by like 5 episodes or something, or 5 months.
Rattlestar Rick Talia is Rick Lactica. I don't think it's like as good as everybody thinks. I just think there's some moments in there that just crack me up the most.
I think it might be my favorite episode of season 5 or season 4.
I can say, I mean, like I said, the Vat of Acid was by far the best episode of that whole season. I could also see Rattlestar Rick Lactica, Jesus, being up there.
Go ahead and add Rattlestar. Let's see, episode 2, episode 1. Episode 1 was fine with Morty like doing the crystal thing.
I think I think just following Morty around. Well, no, this is the episode where Rick keeps like reviving into different dimensions,
and they're all Nazis. Right?
Yeah, almost every single one of them is Nazis.
But I do like it because it's one of those episodes that calls out the fandom, because it's like he's on the ship with Nazi Morty, and he's like, "I want to go on a classic Rick and Morty adventure." And Rick's like, "I got a Meeseeks box. Do you like those?" And he hits the button. He's like, "Kill that motherfucker!" And pointing at Morty, the Nazi Morty.
Nazi Morty.
So I do like it whenever they call the fans out like that. I also really like the old man in the seat, just because it's one of those episodes.
It's Rick showing his humility, honestly.
Yeah, he's showing his humanity. I don't think it makes the top 10 though. I really do like that back and forth between him and I forget the man using his seat. Jerry also creates an app with their little intern alien. That was a fun B story. I do miss B stories in Rick and Morty episodes. I think they need to get back into them.
Oh, agreed.
Anyone else from season 4 you want to add? Dragon episode was fine. I don't know why people complain about it.
Oh, they're all weird. I think it was just hilarious about just a bunch of dragons who get off at soul bonding.
People, even the Rick and Morty fans get weird about the incest stuff, and I'm like, calm down. Just calm down, guys. You're cool with that guy over there getting his head chopped off? Calm down. Like, I think this might have been the first or second mention of incest in the series. And people were just really weirded out by, like, all of them soul bonding. Yeah,
people are fucking weird.
I'll take your silence as you didn't agree with it either, Josh.
No, it's first off, it's a fictional thing. Who cares? Like, it's not like we're seeing like Morty penetrate Summer or something like that.
They've got Rule 34 for that. We're moving on.
Yeah. Jesus.
Oh Jesus. Oh jeez.
Oh man. Oh geez. Keep that in the recording.
Hey, you know what? It's an off week. I might just keep it in there. All right. Season 5. This came out in 2021. I can't believe it'll be about 3 years at this point. Episode 1, Mort Dinner Rick Andre. Episode 2, Mortiplicity. Episode 3, A Rick Convenient Mort. Episode 4, Rick Dependent Spray. Episode 5, A Mortykin Graffiti. Episode 6, Rick and Morty's Thanksploitation Spectacular. Episode 7, Gotron Jerry says Rick Evangelion. There it is. Episode 8, Returnal Friendship of the Spotless Mort. Episode 9, Forgetting Sherrick Marshall. Episode 10, Rick Mirai Jack. I know season 5, I think season 5 is the least popular of the seasons.
Yes, it is.
That's why I want to get as much of it.
It's definitely weaker.
I want to get as much of it as I can on the list. Okay, I'm going to come out and say it. I like Rick Dependent Spray. This is the episode with the big sperms.
Yes,
It's
I
the one with
love
the
it.
incest baby because they take one of Summer's eggs and blow it up, and one of the giant sperms hit it. I think this is a great episode. I don't know why the fuck everyone's a baby about it. It's got that samurai that dies who's wearing his wife's underwear that's like, tell my wife I was wearing her underwear.
What was he wearing my underwear?
He was.
Yes, he was. And she like call him a freaking
She's
shit
like,
too.
that sick fuck. I
Of
want
course,
to put. Can we put put Rick Dependent Spray on the list, please?
I already did. I didn't even question it. I put it on there.
I'm glad I rewatched this season recently because I was having trouble remembering it. This is also the season where Morty hooks up with Captain Planet Girl.
Which I think is it's not top 10 in my opinion, but it's still one of the better episodes of the season.
There's the one where Mortykin Graffiti is the one where the Cenobites, like from Hellraiser, make fun of Jerry for being cringe. Let's see here. I do like the Thanksgiving. I think the Thanksgiving episode is definitely one of my favorites from this season. The one where Rick and Morty turn themselves into turkeys
Right, and then the president turns himself into a turkey
to try and stop Rick from turning himself into a turkey.
Yep. Yep. I do like Rick Morai Jack.
Get it on the list.
By far one of the the best episodes. Just watching the crows cheat on Rick
With a scarecrow of all people.
with a scarecrow.
The anime opening is just so cheesy, but
Yes.
it immediately you're like, oh, it's an anime opening. I do like the episode before that. I don't think it makes the list, but Forgetting Sarek Mortsel, where he gets the crows, and then like the sentient crow people come down, and they realize they're a fucking joke to Rick because they're on the wheel. Because of the whole big fight. Let's see here. Returnal Friendship of the Spotless Mort is the one where Rick goes into Birdman's brain to try and save him, right?
Yeah, before his body ended
Or Bird
like
Person.
before his mind collapses to there's no rescue whatsoever.
It's fine. I don't really remember a lot about it.
I
Just
mean,
a
it's
lot of
really
lore.
it just digs more into Rick's past. It shows how they met, what they end up doing, what caused them to kind of separate in the beginning to begin with, which was Rick was just like, hey, there's infinite amount of dimensions. We can do pretty much whatever the fuck we want. Just come with me. Let's go do fun. And Bird Person's like, yeah, I don't want to do that.
And then I think this is the episode that introduces like that other Rick that kind of comes out as like a ghost or something. I forget exactly how that happens, but he comes back in later episodes. I don't like the Gotron episode. I've never liked the Gotron episode. It's just weird.
I like it because it's just making fun of it.
The incest baby does make an appearance though, so
Yeah,
that's cool.
Naruto.
I also like Mork Dinner Rick Andre. I really, really, really like. What's the nemesis name?
I forget his name already.
I just watched it and I can't remember his name, but it's. Let me click on it, see if his name pops up. Jerry Smith, Summer, Hoovy, Mr. Nimbus.
Mr. Nimbus.
Mr. Nimbus, voiced by Dan Harmon. Go ahead and put Mort Dinner Rick Andre, because that's also the one where Morty's getting wine.
And he keeps going like changes the time period every time.
Yeah,
or
like the
speeds up time.
The time in the dog portal or the dog world moves a lot faster than our world.
See, I told you he was real. I'm sorry, Grandpa. We should have believed you.
And it's he comes back like every 100 years or something. They're like, oh my god, he is. It's just the realization, and him coming back pushes them into advancement to prepare for the next time he comes. And there's always there's always a set of people who don't believe. But there's also the episode where the writers are finally like, okay, let's have him stop chasing Jessica. Let's have Jessica actually be a character and not just an object of affection. I thought that was pretty cool. I'm a fucking time god. Fuck you. Because she was locked away for thousands and thousands of years. Anything else from season 5?
No, I don't understand why people hate on it so much. There are definitely some good spots in it. So,
all right, let's go. All right, season 6. I really liked this when I rewatched it recently. Episode 1, Solorix. Actually, and this came out in 2022, so last year. Episode 1, Solorix. Episode 2, Rick, A Mort Well Lived. Episode 3, Bethnick Twinstinct. Episode 4, Night Family. Episode 5, Final Deathsmith Station. Episode 6, Jurassic Mort. Episode 7, Full Metal Jackrick. Episode 8, Analyze Piss. Episode 9, A Rick and King Mortar's Mort. Episode 10, Rictional Mortpoon's Rickmas Mortcation. Some of these fucking names, I swear. So I think
from the top.
I forgot to mention, I really like in season 5 the episode where they have all the duplicates. I don't think it makes top 10, but I really do like that because it goes back into that conversation we were having earlier where like it doesn't matter what Rick and Morty you're following. You're essentially following, like there's going to be little differences here and there, but there's still like you're still going to want to follow them no matter which multiverse you're following. And that's why I think some of those earlier episodes we were actually following Evil Morty and didn't know it.
Well, I'm going to throw it out here right now. As much as I love Rick, A Mort Well Lived, it's just Die Hard. And them making fun of Die Hard.
I watched it, and it was just hard to get through. It was a hard episode to get through.
It really is. Well, because in between Summer doing Die Hard, it's Rick stuck in, what's the game?
Dave? No, Rob.
Dave?
Bob? No. He's taking Dave. What's the fucking guy's name? Well, he's in that. Yeah, he's in that. He's in the game arcade game.
Yeah, because Morty got stuck in there when the power went out.
Yeah.
So it's like it's okay, but at the same time, I'm like, I agree. It's hard to follow through because one moment we're following Summer doing Die Hard, the next we're watching Rick trying to gather all these individual Mortys and create cults.
Thematically, I think both stories line up pretty well because, yeah, Morty's split up into all the NPCs in the game, and what Rick is trying to do is bring them all together. And I think what the episode is asking is like, do you need every piece of you to actually keep going, to actually keep being yourself? And on the outside, you've got Summer, who like has I don't think, if I'm remembering correctly, Summer has no idea how the fuck Die Hard plays out. She's aware of it. She's aware of like some of the stuff in Die Hard. So it's a cool little moment where it's like you don't need every part of Die Hard to realize they're doing a Die Hard, and I think they really hit it on the nose at some point because Summer says, "I'm doing a Die Hard,"
and he's like, "You're doing a Die Hard."
Oh yeah, and this is another episode. Every time I watch it, I forget that Tyrion Lannister. What's his name? I'm really bad with names. You can tell we just did a bunch of Game of the Year episodes. I'm going to click it because it'll give me his name. That's why I like IMDb. No, I don't want to watch it.
Don't watch options. Actually click the episode. There you go.
There it is. Peter Dinklage. There it is. I always forget it's Peter Dinklage in that episode. Beth at Twin Stinks is hilarious just because it's Beth fucking Beth.
And then it's the best ending of you hear basically both Beths and Jerry fighting and then having sex and trying to eat dinner.
Jerry's like, you just didn't ask me. You didn't ask me. And he's like, and permission granted.
And what if I don't kiss you? Well, then I'll allow it.
Just the most Jerry ass shit. I come away from this season thinking Night Family is my favorite, just because of how creepy it is.
Yes.
I've rewatched the scene where they like basically ambush Rick and feed him the schmutz off the plate. It's like, if you do not clean the schmutz off of your plate, it makes it harder to clean the dish.
I think it's even better when they finally give up their power because they realize that the morning family was paying, getting all the bills paid and stuff, and everyone can provide for them. They just let them go and have their bodies back, and they're like, "What the fuck?" They have to go back to a dirty ass house still, and they have to get all their shit together. They're broke as shit.
I think there's some like, people hate season 5, but I think season 6 is more scattered than season 5 is.
Oh, this is where I start to think this is like a mix up between Bad Morty and Good Morty.
I really, really, really like Final Destination. I hate the name, but I love the Jerry freaking out because he might fuck his mom.
Wait, what does yours say? I'm gonna fuck my mom.
He dresses as Morty and tries to fuck Beth. He's like, "No, you're my mom." He's trying to get out of it, and like he almost accidentally almost backs his way into his mom. The wind is blowing. Her pants blow off. His pants blow off. She's wearing a skirt.
What's because of being sucked into a portal? Oh man, I want to be the most successful, independent woman who owns a business ever. What are you doing? oh, I'm just hacking into AMP. We're gonna oh look at that. I'm gonna buy all your businesses. Now you're the most successful businesswoman ever. And now I'm hacking back in to give all that money back out.
Analyze Piss is another one I really like. It's the one where Jerry beats up Pissmaster.
I think doesn't he end up killing himself
He
and
takes
then
he takes his own life. I think this is the first episode that had like an advisory warning in front of it. Like
yeah.
the most episodes have like the hey, this is not meant for kids. This one was like, hey, if you've ever thought about doing this, here's this number.
Yeah.
But it's a really
Rick dresses up as Piss Man.
He dresses up at Pissmaster to like try and make him a redeemable character. And I think around this time, because starting towards the end of this season or at the start of next season, Rick's really gotten a hold of like reviving people.
Yeah.
And he tries to revive Pissmaster here, but it fails because it's been too long. He comes back and he's all wobbly and shit. And I don't know. We start to see some of the tech advance in the series after this point. But I really do like Analyze Piss. Let's get it on the list.
And this is also the season where Rick can't just like open up a portal and
Right.
go to a different dimension because all that shit's still fucked up. He just hasn't actually sat down to do it.
Right. And I really liked this season early on when they couldn't portal out because, this changes like everything for a while. And then I remember when they fixed it, I think it was Jurassic Mork is where they fix it. I just remember like the wind kind of coming out of my sails. I was like, oh, I liked it better when they just couldn't like just go anywhere willy-nilly. I get it.
Even now they
fix it, but
even with season 7, I felt like they didn't do as much portal traveling as they normally do.
No, they didn't. Anything else from season 6 before we move on to season 7?
No, I think we've got our 3 there.
Okay, and then let's see here, and I hope you have like the episode numbers next to them just so we can remember.
Oh, I mean, I've got them in like order of what season they are. We should know based off that.
All right, so season 7 kind of started off on the weaker side, but picked up. Man, I was in Austin when this premiered. All right, and this premiered back in October of this year. It just ended a few weeks ago. Season 7, Episode 1, How Poopy Got Its Poop Back. Episode 2, The Jarek Trap. Episode 3, Air Force Wong. Episode 4, That's a Morty. Episode 5, Unmore Trickin'. Episode 6, Rick Fending Your Mort. Episode 7, Wet Caught a Mortican Summer. Episode 8, Rise of the Americans, the movie. Oh, that score's low. Episode 9, Mort Ragnarok. And then episode 10, Fear No Mort. I've got 2 like standouts from this season.
The one for me is definitely the That's a Morty.
Yeah, That's a Mort and Fear No Mort are my 2 favorites from this season. And they're actually from the same writer. They're credited to the same writer, so hats off to her. Let me pull her up. I think she's amazing for these 2 episodes. Heather Ann Campbell. I think these were her first 2 episodes that she was credited for, and they are amazing.
I mean, literally, that's a Morty is like one of the darkest, I think the darkest episode they've ever done.
I would agree. I think Fear No Mort gets pretty close to it, but I do think That's a Morty fucking has a heavier topic to deal with in the middle of it all. Let's run through these real quick. How Poopy Got His Poop Back is a hangover type episode where Rick gets all his friends together to do an intervention for Poopy Butthole. I didn't like it. I thought like the side characters like that, like you only get so much time out of them. I don't need them taking up a whole episode. Jarek Trap is where Jerry and Rick combine for a little bit, and they're like essentially the same person then within 2 bodies with both of their personalities. Air Force Wong is another Unity episode. Unity comes to check on Rick on Earth. It just felt like another Unity episode that didn't need to be done. It didn't really move anything forward. It just kind of felt like a repeated beat, but with Wong and the president thrown in. By the way, I haven't mentioned it, but the president becoming like a major character within the last 4 seasons has been great. Yeah, I really love his
the
presence. President. And again, since I'm bad with names right now, president.
Are you fucking my therapist?
It's Keith David. Keith David's great as the president. Also, going into this season, this was the season with the new voices because Justin Roiland, the one name I remember, is a terrible person, apparently. But Justin Roiland got into some trouble, texting minors, assaulting people. I think some of those charges were eventually dropped, but you still got some shit going on.
Press, yeah.
And so people were like, "Oh, the voices. I'm worried about the voices." So every trailer
I
that
don't-
came out, you had every nitpicky Rick and Morty fan going like,
Well, when Morty says words like this, you can really start to hear that.
But
I
really,
couldn't
I
fucking
didn't.
tell.
I mean, I watched everything but the last episode, and that's just because I totally forgot to watch it. But I honestly couldn't tell a difference. I could not sit here and be like, "Oh, I've watched all the way from season 1 to season 7, and I don't notice the difference." I'm being serious. I can't.
The only time I could tell a difference was Poopy Butthole.
Yes,
It was,
but like
it
you
was
said,
very.
he's such a minor character though. That's like, who cares? Like you could easily replace him with anybody else and it'd be fine.
Well, it stuck out because first of all, Poopy Butthole shouldn't be carrying an episode. Like,
True.
it's
Yeah.
cute when you bring him back at the end of the season, be like, "Oh boy, what a season! What did I do? I was working out. I got.
He should have been
divorced."
just a B. It should have been a B storyline with him.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and this was also the season. I don't think there are any. I had no B stories if I recall correctly.
No.
Another favorite of mine from this season was Unmore Trickin'. I think everybody loved that one. That was the Rick versus Rick Prime. Evil Morty hopped in to help. I think everyone was really surprised that they closed that off so fast, just because we've got at least 3 more seasons of Rick and Morty guaranteed. So the fact that they closed that off and now we're kind of wondering what Rick is going to be doing going forward.
Well, and
I
that's
thought
just it.
I thought it was great.
We know the ultimate baddie, at least as of right now, is definitely going to be Evil Morty.
No, it's going to be that little churro guy.
I will get you. But no, I mean, seriously, like, it was fantastic. Yes, I agree. They kind of shut out really quick. But it also then revealed, like, there is this technology that he created that just eliminates a person from all realities.
Oh, and Evil Morty will use that eventually. He's going.
Yeah, he's going to.
If not next season, season 9, they're going to erase somebody. It's going to be someone who like let's say guy who voices Jerry or lady who voices Beth, or like their contract's up and they're like, I'm done. They'll just fucking wipe them. That's how they'll do it.
I
They'll
have a
wipe the
thing that's
president.
just good. They're going to wipe Morty.
You think they're going to wipe Morty?
Why not? This would be the like that. Morty is Rick's identity at this point.
I mean, it would be. Well, and so there's not a lore episode. I don't want to get too into it, but I do find it fascinating that I speculate on. I mean, what made Rick Prime erase all of the
Beth's.
not the Beths, the wife.
Or yeah. I said Beth and I didn't mean Beth. Yeah, and then why did he also get rid of I forget his name, but the Time Master guy?
Oh, that was just that was salt on a wound. Slow
Well,
Mobius.
I know, but it's like
Diane.
why
Diane is the wife, I believe.
Diane? Yeah,
And so it makes me think, Rick Prime maybe lost her, and it was like, well, if I can't have her, nobody can.
Can.
Something like that.
But then again, he's also knows that there's other Dianes out there.
And so this Rick, I hate when people say our Rick, but the Rick that we assume that we're following most of the time, he's bouncing around looking for Rick Prime, but he's also growing close to Morty because he never really had that relationship with Beth, and Morty's about that age.
We find out in his timeline that, or it's before like season 1 where we meet Evil Morty for the first time. You see his memories. You can see him holding a baby Morty.
Right.
Which makes you question, like, yeah, his Diana's gone, but what happened to his family? We don't know what happened to his family.
Well, his Diane and his Beth, like when he tells like what happened in season 3, like Beth is there when that Diane gets exploded.
Right, but we assumed it was him just like thinking it. So we know for a fact Diane was in the explosion, but it was Beth. And then it begs the question, why did we see him with a baby Morty?
And then, I think there's still a lot of stuff out there that we need answers for. Let's talk about Numericon episode real quick. That was rough.
It was very rough.
I think the biggest issue was there wasn't someone there to call question to everything that was going on.
No, you had the Morty's math teacher, and you had Morty.
It was really weird featuring him. It's a character.
Yes.
Again, it's a side. I think any episode you look at from the season that didn't go off too well, it's a side character trying to carry the episode. And I get it. They're trying to I forget that character's name, but I get it. You want them to be able to carry a story, but you need to have someone there questioning it. And he was there just to be like the foil to Ice Cube's character. Not Ice Cube's character. I'm sorry. Ice-T. I'm sorry. Too much ice in this episode. But he was like he was along for the ride. Whereas if you had a Rick there, Rick would have been like, this fucking like stop. Rick would have automatically been like, all right, the number and alphabet pun is getting annoying, but he would have said it like in the most asshole ways. So for me, Fear No More, That's a Morty, and Unmore Trickin' make the list. Do you have any others that on here that you're like, yes?
I do. No, not yes, but I just want to mention at least the Mort Ragnarok.
That was a fun. That was a fun.
That was a fun.
Episode. It was
Just
wacky.
watching Morty just kill the shit out of Vikings nonstop, and they even featured like. So people pointed out. Do you remember playing Destiny, right?
Yeah.
One of the legendary weapons that they had was the Gallahorn. You shoot it; it's a big rocket, then it explodes, and multiple mini rockets come out.
Mm-hmm.
That's what people were like losing their minds over. That's like what they were referencing into is the Gallahorn. And I'm like, yeah, that's actually really cool.
Fucking Destiny. Fucking Destiny. You know how I feel about that game. You brought it up in this episode.
I know.
You son of a bitch. All right, let's see what we've got. We got to narrow this down to 10. How many do we have, Josh?
We've got.
And why are they not on this list that I just pulled?
Look. Scroll down.
Ah.
There you go. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
All right. So we need to knock off 11 of these. Let's see here. M. Night Shyamalan Aliens is the simulation episode.
Yep.
The
my man,
and the what's the slogan? Jerry, those apples.
Those
apples.
Is it those apples? Or I thought it was need apples or something like that.
Something like that.
Because it was like got apples. Because it's making got milk.
It's one of those. I don't know. I think that's a really fun Jerry episode because it turns out that Jerry and Rick are the only ones in the simulation. And now that I think about it, first of all, I love that the whole episode and the simulation episode are at the top and the bottom. There's going to be a plot twist eventually where they come out of the hole and then they also come out of the simulation at the same time. It's gonna happen. And you haven't seen Fear No More, but you'll get that when you see it. You should watch it after this. I
plan on it. Okay, so I think even though we love Meeseeks and Destroy, it compared to everything else, I don't think it's top 10 material. It's still good.
I honestly, like, if I was going to argue for one season 1 episode making the top 10 list, it would be Meeseeks and Destroy, just because I feel like that's the first time we really see the full family be on board for the adventure. And I love the comedy of Summer asking a Meeseeks to help her be more popular, Beth asking it to help her be more of a fuller woman. And then Jerry coming in and be like, that stuff's hard. Ask for something easy. I need you to take 2 off my golf game. My 2 strokes off my golf game.
Yeah, they can't even do it. They're all freaking out.
That ends up being the impossible thing because Jerry doesn't have any follow through in a golf sense and just in a personal sense. And the fact that Beth and Summer both find the answer right away, and they become these more fuller women, and if you look back at it, they're kind of asking for the same thing. They want to be more appreciated in the world,
right?
And then fucking Jerry, just a fucking. I think the Meeseeks has to stay at least for now.
Okay. So then are we agreeing then the M. Night Shyamalans should be removed?
Yeah, that's a fun episode, but I think the fear the whole episode does the are we in it or are we not in it better at this point, and that's just a matter of time passing. Rick Stevenix, I think you're going to fight for that one tooth and nail.
At least for now. Like, let's get down the list. Let's get rid of some of these ones that we know will get removed, and we'll see where we're at.
Total Rick Call is the aliens that. Hey, remember that time? It's basically a Family Guy episode with callbacks to.
It's the not worms, the parasite ones. They're just all like they go into your brain and make these good memories.
Was this them poking fun at Family Guy all those years ago?
I'm pretty sure it was. And then the fact that Beth shoots Mr. Poopy Butthole thinking he is a parasite.
That was a good moment. I kind of wish he was, though. After the last 5 seasons, I kind of wish he was.
There was a
Is there a theory?
There was a theory that he's a queen, and that's why they couldn't get rid of her, because she can also make bad memories. So they did that to like plant it like, oh, Mr. Poopy Butthole's but obviously we've seen so much more of him since then that the theory kind of went away. But it definitely was like one of those like, oh, he was a queen parasite, and they're able to make at least one bad memory, and that's what the bad memory was.
All right. So then total Rick call stays. I love Look Who's Purging Now. I think it's a fun episode. I think it's the writers and the cast having a lot of fun. I don't think it makes the top 10 though. It's a good purge. It's a good purge though. It's a good purge. It's a good purge.
I mean, Pickle Rick has to step here as well. It's definitely one of those. I mean, it was everything in a Rick and Morty episode that we could ever dream.
Oh man, I'm looking down at this list. It's already getting tough. Go ahead. Go down to Mort Dinner Rick Andre. What I really liked about that was that Mr. Nimbus, while he's like one of those nemesis of Rick, he also shows that he cares because he's asking him about Diane at the end of it. I love the dog stuff, and I love that they had Jessica become just kind of like a time god and like wasn't going to be put up with Morty's shit anymore. But it can go. I think it's a good episode. I don't think it's top 10. Oof.
So that leaves.
What's that? 18?
Yep, 18.
All right, we got to cut 8 more.
Oh, this is tough.
I know. Okay, let me run down the list real quick for everybody, for all the folks at home. We have Me Seeks and Destroy, Rick's D-Minutes, Total Recall, Morty Night Run, A Rickle in Time, Pickle Rick, Rick Shank Redemption, The Whirly Durly Conspiracy, The Rick Lantis Mix-Up, The Vat of Acid Episode, Rattlestar Rick Lactica, Rick Dependent Spray, Rick Mariah Jack, Night Family, Final Desmithtation, Analyze Piss, That's Amore, and Fear No Mort. We have 2 suicide-focused episodes on here.
Let's go ahead and knock out one of them.
I think Analyze Piss can go. I think That's a Morty. Kind of rang some similar bells, but I think the emotional beats of that one hit a little harder, just because we're not dealing with a man who calls himself Pissmaster. Still fucking hilarious. Still one of my favorite moments is him and Jerry fighting.
No.
No.
It's what's his name? I can't think of his name, but he was the last man on Earth.
Oh, is that Will Forte?
Yeah.
I love Will
Pretty sure it's Will Forte.
I love Will Forte.
Every time he goes, no. I can tell it's him. I'm like, that's fucking Will
Last
Forte.
Man on Earth is one of my favorite shows, and I'm sad it got canceled before they could finish it, but that's show business, boys. All right.
I think we can get rid of Rattlestar Rick Lactica.
Josh, all I have to do is say I've got 3 words.
Snake Chaz.
That's more than 3 words, but how fucking great was that joke?
It was fucking on par. It was. Between that and then watching them have to like time travel to give their past selves the stuff they need to be able to stop the snakes.
Oh, you a clever snake. You using tools, huh? We're going to teach you about... They bring back the balls. The one thing they do really good in that episode is they do the sci-fi, bring a scientist on because we found this alien thing.
Yeah.
And they're snakes, so they don't say a word. But you know, if you've ever seen a movie like that, like Arrival or something, you know that scene. And it just, it's hilarious.
But they fall in love with each other. They start, wrestling and sex right there.
We can cut it. We can cut Rattlestar Rick Lactica. There's also another time travel episode. Let's see.
Got 6 more to go.
6 more to go. I'm not ready to cut Rick Dependent Spray. I'm keeping it on out of spite.
How do you feel about the Whirly Durly Conspiracy then?
I like the Whirly Durly Conspiracy because this is another episode where I think we're dealing with Evil Morty. No, I think this is another episode where with that, because there were parts of season 3 where Morty was becoming a little more like testy about stuff.
What was
Morty's
this was the side story on this one?
The B story was Summer was trying to get bigger boobs because she got broken up with, so she was using
Rick's
machine to grow her boobs, and then she accidentally made herself bigger.
And then she gets turned inside out.
Yep, and it's Beth trying to prove that she can take care of things without Rick there. And it's Morty like being like, Mom, fucking knock it off. Like, just call Rick. and it's him just being pissy, and that's why I mean I think that might have been another Evil Morty episode. I don't know. I think there's going to be an episode that comes out down the line that like shows us moments where like, oh, you thought you were following C-137, but actually it's.
No, see, you remember the number there.
I think it is 137.
Yeah, I knew it's like to me, I knew it almost made fun of like Halo Master Chief 117. It's like I knew it started with the 1 and ended with the 7. I just couldn't remember the number.
We can cut the whirly dirly.
All right. 5 more. Okay.
Oh man, this is tough. As funny as the incest is, final. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get 2 incest episodes onto the list. The final desmithation, the one where Jerry is trying to not fuck his mom, but almost accidentally fucks his mom, is a great premise. Bunch of great jokes. Anytime, who is that? That's not Pine? Who voices? I forget who voices. He's also. I think it's Chris Parnell. He's also. I think that's Dr. Spaceman in 30 Rock. He's Cyril in Archer. I admire the man. That voice is just like, it rings in my head. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. It pains me. Cutting 2 Jerry episodes like that. Ugh.
Yeah, 14 more.
Bless you.
Yeah, 14, so 4 more.
Bless you. Morty Night Run is a lot of fun. It's a fun episode. It's got that Moon Man song that I really, really like. It's the first time we see Blitz and Chits. I mean, it's a very my God, Josh.
Sorry.
It's a very memed episode at this point with here I go killing again. I mean, I say that every time I jump into a game of Fortnite. I hope they release that man as a skin, by the way. I would buy Corporculus Michael.
And it is Dave. Oh, he's taking Dave off the grid.
He's taking Dave off the grid. Oh my God. This guy doesn't have a social security number for Dave.
You fell to your death and you went back to the carpet store?
Oh no, it's you beat cancer and you went back to the carpet store.
That's a good episode though.
You know what? I think it can stay for now.
Honestly, as much as it gets memed and we've talked about it, I do think Pickle Rick can get removed from the list.
You're okay with letting go of Pickle Rick?
I'm okay with it. I only say it because literally I think the best part of it is when he's in the sewer and he's trying to make the rat suit to be able to have a autonomous body. And the fact that he has to use cockroaches in his tongue, it just cracks me up. I don't know why.
Yeah, once he gets into the building and he's killing all those guys and he meets up with Jaguar, I'm like, okay, I get it. This is a John Wick episode. Just guys would rather turn themselves into a pickle than go to therapy.
Which is true.
What do we got here? We've got Me Seeks and Destroy, Rick D Minutes, Total Rick Call, Morty Night Run, A Rickle in Time, Rick Shank Redemption, The Ricklantis Mix Up, a Vat of Acid episode, the Vat of Acid episode, Rick Dependent Spray, Rick Mariah Jack, Night Family, That's a Morte, and Fear No Mort.
Know what cracks me up about all the titles? The Vat of Acid episode is the only one that doesn't try to do the like a Rick or Morty like in between thing. It's the same with Me Seeks and Destroy, really, but it just cracks me up because it's like we get like the Rick Lantis mix up or the Rick Mariah Jack, and then we have the Vat of Acid.
Well, that one even has it in the title card of the episode because they do the regular, and it's like underneath like Rick and Morty, the Vat of Acid episode.
Yeah.
So they really steered into it. I love that episode. Oh man. We've hit a stall here.
Oh man. So we got what, 3? I said 3 more?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We got to cut 3 more.
Okay.
Even though you haven't seen it, I do think Fear No More belongs on this list. You'll see it. And
That's fine.
You'll see it and you'll be like, oh yeah, that was a great fucking episode.
I almost want to throw, because like I said, we have so many good episodes on here, and I do agree that Me Seeks and Destroy is the better of the season 1 episodes. Rick's D Minutes, yes, it introduced us into interdimensional cable, but I think people clamor to it so much, and that's why they still go back and make fun of it.
Is this you saying you want to cut Rick's D Minute?
Yes, like it's good, but I think if we're gonna we gotta chop down this list, and there's a bunch of good episodes on here. I think Rick's D Minutes brought in a good concept, but they also have brought it into us that hey, just because it's good doesn't mean we have to constantly bring it back.
Well, and it's some great improv from Justin Roiland while he was still there. I think
Yeah.
anytime they had him improvising, it was great. You could tell with the line reads.
You get, I mean, the fake doors emporium.
I'm not ready to cut Night Family. I really, really, really like Night Family. I would. But Morty Night. See, I'm tempted to cut Morty Night Run, but it's just such a good episode.
It really is. I want to keep it. I want to keep Total Recall because it's just making fun of Family Guy, basically, but it's in the funniest way they possibly could do it.
A Wrinkle in Time. That was.
Ooh.
Which one's A Wrinkle in Time again?
A Wrinkle in Time. That was season 4.
Now you've got me.
Damn it! I have to Google it or to search it because I can't find it on my
looking
list.
Up. Please stop sneezing on the
Season
recording.
2, episode 1. That's the one where the time splits because they just went from stopping time for 6 months to having it back on, and time starts to split.
I think we can cut that one. It's as fun as it is. I like all the time stuff, and it's the first time Rick shows that he cares about Morty. And again, the floating ball guys are great, but not gonna be top 10.
All right, we got one more, Nick.
One more. So we've got Me Seeks and Destroy, Total Recall, Morty Night Run, Rick Shank Redemption, The Rick Lantis Mix-Up, Vat of Acid Episode, Rick Dependent Spray, Rick Mariah Jack, Night Family, That's a Morty, and Fear No Mort.
I think I know what might be our weakest link here.
Don't say
I
it.
want to see what you think.
Don't fucking say it. Don't you
I was going
fucking
to say That's a
it.
Morty.
No, it's That's a Morty is staying.
Well, we have to get rid of something, Nick.
How about we do an honorable mention and put Rick Dependent Spray on it,
Okay.
and then we'll number the rest of them. So yeah, This man cannot count to 10. Wait, the numbers are all disappearing. Why are they doing that?
Why is it what are you doing?
I was trying to add a 10.
Stop it. You're breaking it.
You're breaking it. You're breaking it.
Oops. That's not what I meant
Oh,
to
you're
do.
breaking it now. Mister. Oh, because it didn't have anything in the entry. I see.
Yeah.
And then, so Rick Dependent Spray will be our honorable mention. See, now this is harder because I was going to make that my number 10. Our number 10.
I can spell now.
You can tell we've just come off a week of podcasting.
It's a very long week of podcasting. All right,
Yes.
so that's our honorable mention.
Honorable mention is Rick Dependent Spray. I got you that far, buddy. The lowest rated episode on the list. I think it had like a 5.3 or something.
It's okay. Though. I don't know why people complained about it. I really don't.
It's the incest stuff. People are weird about the incest stuff. Like, yes, I get it, guys. Incest bad, but also like
It's Rick and Morty. It's a fucking cartoon show.
fucking hilarious. Come on. I think number 10 could easily be. Now
I think
that
it
was
would be
tough.
Night Family.
Well, here, let's read off what's left. So the 10 remaining episodes are Me Seeks and Destroy, Total Recall, Morty Night Run, Rick Shank Redemption, The Rick Lantis Mix-Up, The Vat of Acid Episode, Rick Mariah Jack, Night Family, That's a Morty, and Fear No Mort. I think number 10 could easily be Night Family.
Yeah, but I think right behind it, number 8 can be Total Recall.
Number 8 can be Total Recall?
No, I'm sorry, number 9. Sorry.
This man is off his rocker. Total Recall is the big Mr. Poopy Butthole, all the parasites. Yep. Okay. Sleepy Gary. I agree
Sleepy
with that.
Gary.
No, Gary. I want to be with Gary. I want to be with Gary. Night Family's a fun episode. It's one of those ones that just sneaks up on you. It's more scary than anything, and I like it when they get into the scary.
I just love Morty getting fucking shredded.
And they're hosting a podcast, and they're gonna have I think was it Nancy Pelosi on an episode.
Yep.
There's a moment early in that episode where they just got night people. I think one of them. I think Summers learned Spanish, and like Morty's like Morty, you can see him chest up, and you can tell he's ripped. But he's like, look at this, and he looks down to like unzip something. But it's his bowling ball bag, but you think he's unzipping his pants. It's so stupid. It's one of those blink and you miss it moments, but it was fucking great. I I think the Vat of I think Rick Shank Redemption can go near number 8. It's a really great premiere. It's my favorite premiere of a season. Gives us a lot of backstory, even though we don't know at the time if it's actual backstory, if he's just bullshitting. There's a lot of great little moments, like the time, like when they're outside, they're in the Shoney's, and Rick's like, they're going through his other memories, and the little bug that's with him, I think that's Nolan North that voices it. He's like, oh, it's in between the memory of where you were for 9/11 and your favorite sport blooper. And you could see him like standing by the TV saying, oh my God.
I forgot to mention it just because it blew past me, but the Morty Mind Blowers has by far one of the best fucking callbacks that they did. It's the when Morty wants to be able to understand what animals are saying,
Mm-hmm.
and he gets to the squirrels. I don't know why. Every time I hear that, hey, little boy, can you understand us? We have candy.
Candy.
Oh, we got Possible Doolittle. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh fuck!
That is a fun episode.
I don't know why. Every time I hear it, I just die. I don't know why.
He uses the magnet to attract all the redheads in the area, and it pulls them all into the garage.
Yeah. Okay. Number 7.
Number 7, I think number 7 can go to Me Seeks and Destroy.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Because fuck, dude, I think I might be arguing for Morty Night Run to be near the top.
Really? Okay. All right. Well, yeah, it's understandable. I actually think number 6 can probably go to That's a Morty.
I was going to argue that a Morty higher. I was actually going to say Fear No Mort at number 6, just because you haven't seen it yet.
Wow.
And I know after you see it, you'll be like, oh, that shit needs to move up.
Well, we can always bring it up in the podcast later and change it.
True.
Um,
and people are gonna, like, some people might see this and be like, oh, that's recency bias, Nick. What are you doing? Like, no, that was a great fucking episode. Like, that's Fear No More and That's a Morty are a great 1-2 punch. From credited to the same writer. Like, the fact that came from the same person blows my fucking mind. And I think That's a Morty could actually be number 5. Actually, You know what? No, I think Rick Morty Jack is number 5.
Yeah. Oh, and then from there, I can honestly say,
Hold on, let's recap. Let's recap. So at number 10, at honorable mention, we've got Rick Dependent Spray. Gross title, by the way. Number 10, Night Family. Number 9, Total Recall. Number 8, Rick Shank Redemption. Number 7, Me Seeks and Destroy. Number 6, Fear No Mort. Number 5, Rick Morty Jack. And then if we go back down here, the remaining ones to number are Morty Night Run, the Rick Lantis Mix-Up, the Vat of Acid episode, and That's a Morty. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, honestly, the Vat of Acid episode, I could see it number 4.
Let me think about what's left. Yeah, I could see it being number 4. I think there's some really strong moments with it. I really like the central premise of it all. I really like that they get away from it and then they completely come back to it, because you think
it's a full
like,
circle.
they get out of it and you're like, oh, okay, like this isn't a bottle episode like we thought it was going to be, and then it ends up
it's almost as if, maybe if we had a vat of acid, it would solve everything.
The tag in that episode of the guy who thinks he's impervious to acid going on Johnny Carson. And it's like, watch me do this, and they lower him into the acid and he dies.
Oh, well, that's some big bones for a rat.
Let's see here. So we've got 3 remaining: Morty Night Run, the Rick Lantis Mix-Up, and That's a Morty. This is tough. I think That's a Morty is going to end up being number 3.
Yeah.
And then these other 2 are just going to have to duke it out, which I know which way it'll go if we were everybody else. But I want to hear your thoughts.
So I know you want Morty Night Run to be number 1, which I do agree. It has the best song in it, the best premise. We had chits and blitz. We get everything that we could
Blitz
want.
And chaps.
But the Rick Lantis mix-up is so good because we just get all these different Ricks and Mortys, and the fact that we're following basically what's that? The Departed with both the Ricks, or with the Rick and the Morty.
Oh, that's Training Day. That's Training Day.
Is that Training Day? I always just assumed The Departed.
Yeah, it's Training Day. No, I agree. I do think Rick Lantis Mix-Up takes number 1, just because, that twist at the end, like, they hint at it, but, like,
we thought we were done with Evil Morty.
It blew people's minds when it came back, and just the Citadel of Rick's kind of being in the turmoil that it was in. I do think this is a pretty good order of episodes. Like if someone was like, I want to watch Rick and Morty, but I only want to watch 11 episodes. These are the 11 episodes I would point them towards.
And really, the nice thing is you don't have to have watched any of the past stuff to know what's going on, except for maybe the Rick Lantis mix-up. But even then, like the only thing we knew is that there was an evil Morty.
And then the Rick Morty Jack, you need a little bit.
Yeah, but even then, you could just watch it solo and just be like, yeah, okay, yeah.
Well, I'm looking at this list. I think we only have 3 lore episodes on there, which I'm very proud of us for that. I'm very proud of us.
Well, there's not too many lore episodes to begin with, anyway.
There's at least 1 or 2 in a season.
Well, right, but just in general.
So let's recap for the folks at home. So we've got our top 10 Rick and Morty episodes for the show. Honorable mention goes to Rick Dependent Spray. That's the incest baby episode that everybody loves. Number 10 is the Night Family episode. Number 9 is Total Rick Call. Number 8 is the Rick Shank Rick Redemption. That one is the one where Rick is in prison at the beginning of season 3. 7 is Me Seeks and Destroy, one of the early season 1 episodes. Number 6 is Fear No More. The latest episodes just came out a few weeks ago. It's amazing. Josh, go watch that shit. Yep. Number 5, Rick Morty Jack. Is that the season 5 finale?
Yes.
Season 5 finale with some lore stuff with Evil Morty. Number 4 is the Vat of Acid episode from season 4 that people love so much. Number 3, That's a Morty. That's the spaghetti suicide episode from this newest season. Morty Night Run is the second episode from season 2 that features Fart. I think that's CeeLo Green, if I'm remembering correctly, who voices Fart. And then number 1, the Rick Lantis mix-up. You knew it was gonna be number 1. I knew it was gonna be number 1. Look at that. We did it. Hey guys, look at that. We got through another year of podcasting. This is the end of our Game of the Year coverage officially with this bonus episode. We'll be back next week with a special guest. We're going to be playing games. I've been playing some Alan Wake 2, so I'll have some stuff to say about that. I'm sure Josh has been playing some video games over there where he lives.
No.
You haven't? None?
No, I mean, I've been playing like Final Fantasy, the Pixel remasters, but...
I thought you were a gamer, Josh. I thought you were a gamer.
I'm busy. Nick, some of us have families that we have to attend to.
Motherfucker. Motherfucker. Well, hey, everybody. Go check us out wherever you get your podcast. Apple, Spotify, YouTube podcasts, or just regular ass YouTube. Fuck the algorithm, tell a friend. That's right, word of mouth is king here. And then go check out our new website, smashinggametime.com. We'll have posts for podcast episodes. We've got articles we're starting. We're doing lists over there. Also going to get some game reviews in over there, so keep an eye out for those. We're also eventually going to start doing some video stuff once we can find the time, once some stuff opens up here in 2024. So keep an eye out for that stuff as well. Hey, everyone, this has been Smashing Game Time. I hope you all had a smashing great time. We'll see each and every one of you next time.